everybody, and welcome back to Thrasher's Ghetto Fab, and working on the two-door again like we normally are. And I'm gonna work on some pedals today. Got the brake and clutch kind of sitting in right now, and I bought a gas pedal. So let's take a look at that and what we got going on, and show you what I got to do here. All right, so got a Wilwood floor-mounted setup here, clutch and brake. And I think that's going to be the best route to go here. I went back and forth if I was do swinging or floor mount, but just with the column here in a way, I don't. It's going to be really tough to do swinging, and so I'm just going to go with the floor mounts. So the next thing I got here is I bought a gas pedal. Probably should have just bought the pad and made the whole thing, because I'm going to have to cut the shit out of it like I always do. As you can see, it's kind of running up in the middle there. Film this here, not easy to do. And what's going to happen there is I do want to put heat and air in this car really bad, and it's going to be right in the middle of my air conditioning box. So what I'm going to do here, video. Okay, I need to take this and turn this way, and I'm going to make some kind of bracket that either comes with the firewall or off the column support that I made. So my first order of business, I'm going to have to take this gas pedal, and I'm going to have to make it so it's straight. So let me get set up on that, and we'll see what I can figure out there. Should be, a simple cut here, I believe, and spin that, and then cut the pivot out of here and just straighten that out and weld it back together. So we'll get that going first, and then we'll figure out how I'm going to make some kind of bracket to get that going. All right, you saw there on the clip, started to straighten this gas pedal out, and my phone died. I was filming all day, videoing all day, so I did get it done, but it didn't get all the footage I wanted. But there that is. You can see how I did that, and that should work out just fine. So the next thing I moved on to was how I was going to make some kind of pivot mount for it. And what I came up with is this very simple triangular bracket. And that was going to bolt to the firewall. I was going to have one on each side, going the opposite way, and then just the pivot bolt will go through here. Pretty, simple thing. We'll start with some 16 gauge. Made a couple pieces here. And you can see here, and they seemed a little flimsier than I would like. And I also didn't like how it was going this way. I had the double pivot here. So what I decided to do was bring them in this way. I'm gonna go that way, and we'll have two bolts to bolt to the firewall. And then I also added, you can see on here, I added a 90-degree bend on the top and the bottom, and that's going to stiffen that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and break this. Well, here I'm gonna put some speed holes in here like I always do, and some dimple ties, and clean that up. Make that look kind of cool, and then I'm going to break that in the center, and then I'll drill holes in the end, and then I'll just take and weld just a little lip on the end there, just so it's nice round, that makes the round actually look real nice. So I got the camera set up for you now, guys, and show you how I finish this bracket up for the gas pedal. So I want to show you what I came up with here to make up that 1/2 inch depth difference between the sub rail and the floor. We saw that before. I wanted something that's going to be spread this out. I didn't want to just put a couple spacers on here, come down. Be only being 18 gauge on the floor. My concern is, the thousands of times you hit the brakes, it's going to rock. Not be what I feel would be strong, especially on something as important as brakes. So what I came up with is just this is a rough cut piece I made here out of 1/8 inch plate, and I'm going to finish this up on camera. But what I'm going to show you here is this is going to mount here. Going to weld some spacers on here, and that should hopefully make up that 1/2 inch difference that I need, and then it'll spread that load out to keep everything from flexing the floor, or doing any kind of breaking anything or becoming loose over the years. So so I'll get the camera set up, and we will make this part the rest of this on the video here. All right, so we saw in the last clip there, making this bracket. And I think it's pretty simple here, nothing earth-shattering, as I say. But what this will do is this will mount here, just like that. And then that'll give me that 1/2 inch difference here. And like I said earlier, this big bite area to spread that load out so it doesn't, you know, work that floor too much. And then probably on the bottom side, I'll use some big fender washers or something to keep spreading that load so it doesn't, you know, move around. I thought maybe I might make another plate to match, but I think that might be overkill. So just some big washers, I think, when I do go through the floor. This one's gonna be mounted really tight. It's going to the sub rail. So I'm gonna get this set up in the car here, and we'll keep moving. We'll make the clutch mounts and get the gas pedal mounted. I can figure out my how I want my spacing now. So make sure all my feet are gonna fit and everything's gonna maybe leave room for a roll cage, but I'll show that once I get this back in the car. All right, guys, so I got the pedals set in here, and I think I changed my mind how I want to do this. I was going to set this up like a 1/2 inch here. As you can see, the lip here, the sub rail. So I made this bracket here, come out really nice. I'm just going to space it up, and then after I started working on it, I did a little work here. I actually had it all filmed and everything, but I think the better route here, the cleaner route, would be to take and just notch the sub rail here. And then I can sit the thing right back down on the floor. I think I'm going to reuse this plate. I'm just going to cut these. You can see I welded these on here. I'm going to go ahead and slice these off and use that to make up that little bit of 1/8 inch difference here, as you can see from the bead roll. And that's just really stiffen everything up and keep it nice and tight. So I'm going to get the camera set up here. I'm going to go notch this and then weld this back in and then go that route to get these pedals to mount flush to the floor.
I'm coming, you better watch out. We're going high, we're going high, we're going high. In the air, I feel it, you better believe it. When I know we going high. Gotta climb to the top, no, I'm never gonna stop. When I know we going high.
All right, you saw on that first clip there, I cut this, the rough cut here, went ahead and cleaned that up real nice, and then off camera, I made this simple piece out of 16 gauge here, did my typical cardboard template, and just broke the corner here, and did a little, fill in with some weld here. Not my best piece ever, but this is gonna be not seen that well, so like I said, it's just gonna be just fine. Did it with a MIG. This piece goes right in here, and I will go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and weld all this up. I think I will smooth this. I don't think I'm going to leave the welds here. I want it to look like it's stamped in there, so I'm going to go ahead and get the camera set up, get this welded in, and then now we'll have the recess to mount the pedals in the car. So get that set up here for you guys, and get this keep moving forward with the pedal assembly here.
You better watch out.
All right, so we saw in that last clip there, got the piece welded in there. I think I did say I was going to MIG it and weld it smooth. Changed my mind and just TIG'd it. Gonna leave the weld on there. Go either way on that, but I did have to grind it off here, which you guys saw. And now there's clearance for everything. I'm gonna set this up in here, screw it down, put my little spacer underneath here, get the pedals mounted in here for you guys, and then I'll get the clutch and brake pedal, I should say, mounted in here, and then move on to the gas pedal and the cable. So hopefully get this finished up here soon. Alright, so you saw in the last clip there, I got the pedals mounted in place, and they're nice and sturdy. Ended up using this piece that I had spacers welded on before I changed my design here, and it worked out nice to stiffen the floor up. Also, what was crazy is this hole right here literally hit right through the frame on one of the supports that I had going across here. So once I get the body off, I'll sleeve that, and then this thing is completely mounted, really sturdy to everything. So gonna move on here, and you can see I got the gas pedal kind of mapped up in here, and I'm gonna start with just a couple of zip screws probably in here, because I want to be able to move it around. So I'm gonna get this set up, get the zip screws in here, and then just kind of see how that's gonna work. Kind of split my difference here. You can see it sits back a little bit farther from the brake pedal. Figured that'll just give me a little bit more room as I'm trying to drive this thing 4,000 miles, that I can get a little bit more room on my stretch my leg out a little bit. So we'll see how it's going to work, but that's what we're going to go with right now, or start with that, and get this screwed in here and start figuring this cable out. All right, so moving forward with the gas pedal install here, and I made this bracket here to mount the pedal to, which went to the firewall like this, and then the pedal mounted in there, and it was definitely not substantial enough. I mean, the bracket's fine, and it worked out really well. The problem was it just didn't have enough surface area here, and it was flexing the firewall this way. The pedal was completely, it was crazy how much it was moving back and forth because of the length of it. The leverage on everything was moving everything around. So going for a second design here, and we can see I went and I'm welding right to the support I made in earlier videos for the steering, and I got these kind of triangular brackets here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off here for you guys now. What I also want to do is there is still some flexes. It's insane how much this is moving around. I bought some band iron today, and I'm gonna run that around here to hopefully stiffen both these up, make kind of like an I-beam shape, which, it's gonna look kind of cool, but I think it's also going to stiffen these up tremendously, and hopefully that's going to be enough to hold this thing in here. I can't believe how much this is moving around, but I think it's just a kind of an odd design with it, 6 inches off, 5 inches off the firewall or whatever it is here, trying to get something, sturdy enough. So we're getting closer here. Get the camera set up for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get these brackets cleaned up and finish this part in the video here. And of course, like everything else in the car, gotta lay out some speed holes here, make this bracket look good. So I'll lay these out, and you'll see the finished product here at the end. saw there on the video. I got the brackets here, got them done. And here's the finished product in the car. And it's pretty sturdy now. It does move a little bit. I do have to do a little more welding, you know, here, and that should stiffen everything up. So moving on with that, like I said, I was getting rid of the cable setup, and I got this set up here. I can't remember if I showed this earlier or not, but this is going to change this over to, linkage style. And I bought a whole thing for doing dual carbs on a blower assembly, a blower setup, and doing this before. It's really, really nice stuff. So I got these, and I'm going to mount this in here, and that's going to, the rod will come through the firewall, and that'll pull there. And I think I'm going to take the other side and I'm going to push the throttle open here on the other side. So got my typical bracket made up here in cardboard, real rough, and I'm going to make that up. I think I'm going to do this out of stainless for the hell of it, make it look nice, and get these bent up. This one will go here, and using these bolts there. And on this side, I'm going to use these ones, if you can see them, down in there. My rod's not long enough to go across, so I'll put those in there, and hopefully this will make it work off a rod. It'll give me a place to attach here too, so everything works. Go through the firewall and hook up to the gas pedal assembly I have inside there. So get the camera set up here, and I will start making these brackets. See if this works. Alright, well, we saw in that last clip there, I got the brackets roughed in here for the linkage that goes across, and I'm pretty happy with those. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take these off, and I am going to clean these up. I'm going to build these similar to what I did on the gas pedal on the inside. So I'm not going to show that on the video, but I did want to show here, if I can, there's some flex in that bracket there. You can see it. Not too bad. Let's move it back forward just a little bit. So I want to get that one to stiffen up, and I said I'll do that just like I did the inside brackets. Put some on the side here to tighten that up. So after that, guys, we'll move to tying in the gas pedal here, and then after that, we should be done with the pedals. All right, like I said, I wanted to show do the brackets off camera because I got so much footage here. And this is what I kind of come up with here. Probably a little intricate, but I think it works out well. And so I got that one tied in there, and I got this one tied in here. This one was still flexing a little bit even after I added this piece here. So I really beefed this one up here, and you can see no flex, things opening up, nothing binding. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to move on now to the gas pedal, and I got it kind of did a measurement here. I'm getting about 1 5/8 for wide open, and I have to do a little bit of measuring. Went out and looked at my Subaru and my truck, and about 2.5 inches is what I'm getting for pedal swing here. So I'll kind of mock this up in here. I got the pedal in here like I did before. I had a wire ran through here, a piece of welding wire. I was pulling on that and getting an idea. So what I can see is I need to take a little, it's a ghetto fab way to do this, but I know you could figure it out with math a little bit easier, but so I just kind of pulled on it to see. It looks like I got to get the length in the top from the pivot here up to about where this hole is here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off, extend this up, get this right on the firewall, and then tack it together, see where we're at, and make a hole and line that up and see how we do. Plus we also have the other hole we need to speed it up. So should be pretty close, I believe. Like I said, with my ghetto fab way here, pulling on the throttle, and kind of getting a measurement to see, you know, where this is going to be, where it's going to swing. So we will see, and hopefully get this throttle hooked up. One thing I do want to note here is you can see I'm tacking this on there past the pivot. It's kind of angled towards the firewall. I ended up cutting that back off and going straight with it, and that seemed to be the best way to get the angle. I thought it would work better like that, and it did not. All right, well, I think the finally got this throttle linkage figured out. James, go ahead and give it a couple pumps there. All right, let's see, everything seems to be working fairly smoothly. Might need a little, you know, touching up here and there. You can see where my firewall, I got a little off on my deal right there. Other than that, it worked out pretty well. Some dumb luck here. This lines up pretty close. It's a little crooked going into the car. I'll mess with that a little bit more. I will weld the firewall up here. But I think it's all looks pretty good. So here, let me go inside here. Show you the pedal done. Alright. See, again, probably a little bit more stuff to mess around with, but the pedal is done. See everything operating. Got my throw. Basically what I want. I do have an adjustment there. Like I said, if I need a little more throw, I can do that. So I guess that's about it for the pedal assembly for now until you get the final welding, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. The pedal assemblies here. Happy how it all turned out. And I just want to say thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time at Thrasher's Skittle Fab.